A very warm welcome to this channel. Today we are going to do our video on Assam history. We'll be discussing Assam history in details. Before the main course on Assam history, this video is about the approach or the strategy that we can take while understanding this course and studying it. See, from a previous video, if you have not gone through the previous video, please go through that video. You'll understand the importance of this subject. As discussed in the previous video, out of 100 questions of the GS paper, at least 15 to 17 questions comes from Assam part. And out of this 16 to 17 questions, at least 50 or even more comes from Assam history. So minimum take 6 to 7 questions will come from Assam history, and you cannot afford to lose these marks. So in this video, we'll be discussing how to deal about this subject and how to go about the preparation. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is that before going into this subject, before studying any subject, you have to build an interest on that subject. Unless and until you have interest in the subject and take it as a burden, you won't be able to learn it. Because history is something in which you have to study it. You have to repeatedly revise your course so that you can remember all the facts and figures in it. But once you start liking the subject, it will be much easier to retain the things, right? So the first thing is to build your interest. And what better subject to build your interest than Assam history? It is something about our own roots, about our ancestors, about how this land came up, how the people, our own people built this state. Yes, so it is very easy to build it. Now, for this you have to read some history, start developing the interest. Now, suppose recently I have read a book, Laidhan Kha by Pulin Kolta. What a wonderful book. It is about this Horaigat battle, and it is such beautifully written that you feel like going back in time. You want to visit those places, see how everything happened. It's such a wonderful thing. But yes, once you are preparing for the syllabus, for the exam, you cannot afford to read a lot of books or something like that. But yes, you have to develop your own interest, right? So that is the first thing that you need to do. Now, once you have developed your interest here, the second thing is to understand the syllabus. This is very important. You need to see what are the parts of Assam history. If you see, we can divide the Assam history into few parts like ancient Assam history, medieval Assam history, and modern Assam history. All these three sections of history we'll be doing in this video separately. But you have to understand what are the important topics of each and every topic of ancient history, medieval history, modern history. Now, how many questions have come, which part of the syllabus is the most important. You have to understand this. Once you understand this, you can go about your preparation, because history is a vast subject. If you get lost, you'll lose many time in reading things which are not very important from an exam point of view. Maybe they are interesting, but they are not important from an exam point of view, and that is very important to understand that. Now, once you have read the syllabus, then the second thing will come is to understand what are the books that I need to follow. Now, when we have to decide which books we need to follow, you have to understand one thing is that preparation for a mains exam and a prelims exam are two different things, right? The approaches are different, the topics are different, the details in which you have to study are different. In this video, we are, for the time being, will be dealing with the objective type MCQ questions. So it is mainly for the prelims, APSC prelims, or departmental exams, engineering exams, or any other exams conducted by APSC in which the questions are asked in the MCQ form, right? In this video, let me tell you one thing, the books that you can follow. See, every preparation methodology is different. Someone will have a completely different methodology and someone will have completely different methodology. But as far as we are concerned in this video, I can suggest a few books which you can follow, which won't consume much of your time, but will give you a very good idea about the syllabus and the history of Assam. The first book that you can go through is the Assam Yearbook by Santanu Kaushik Borua, right? That is a very good book. You can follow that. There is another Assam Yearbook written by Dr. Rohini Kumar Borua and Biswajit Nath. right? This is another good book which you can follow. But there is another book which is in Assamese, but it will give you a very broad idea of the history of Assam, and it can be also helpful in the mains as well. This is Swadesh Adhyayan উচ্চতৰ মাধ্যমিক প্ৰথম বাৰ্ষিকীৰ পাঠ্যপুথি, দ্বিতীয় বাৰ্ষিকীৰ পাঠ্যপুথিখনো আছে, সেইখনো আপোনালোকে পঢ়িব পাৰে। তাৰ উপৰি আপোনালোকে চন্দ্ৰ প্ৰকাশনৰ যোনখন আমাৰ কিতাপ আছে APSCৰ কাৰণে, সেইখন পঢ়িব পাৰে। সেইখনত বহুতখিনি পুৰণা প্ৰিভিয়াছ ইয়েৰ কুৱেশ্যন পেপাৰ আছে, আৰু তাৰ উপৰি অসম বুৰঞ্জীৰ ওপৰতো যথেষ্টখিনি কথা আছে। Once you have done with your study material, the second thing which is the most important is that you can follow my videos in this channel. In the next video, we'll be doing ancient Assam history, in which we will be chronologically discussing the history of Assam. We won't be diverging into a lot of areas. We'll be discussing the topics which are only important from the exam point of view. I'll be marking the important topics which you can note down. You can also make notes on it. See, if you know this topic is important, you can self-study that topic. If you feel that I need to know more about that topic, you can make your own notes. But see, making notes is very important in history, because you have to revise it again and again in order to retain the information. Making notes is utmost necessity. So you have to do that. The last thing is that we have to solve as many questions as possible. In this channel, after once every section is done, like once I do the ancient history of Assam, I'll be doing some questions on ancient history of Assam. Later stages, we'll be doing mock question papers and everything. In addition to this, you can also on your own solve as many questions as possible from any source that you can get. It may be internet, or it can be any other book that you can get. Plus, you have to solve the previous year question papers. That is very, very, very important, right? So these are the main steps that you have to follow in preparation of Assam history. So stay tuned to this channel, subscribe the channel. In the next video, we'll be discussing Assam history and ancient Assam history, and we'll be discussing the important topics and some important questions, so that it can just give you an idea what kind of questions can be asked. That's all for this video. Thank you so much.